All right, everyone, new video for you all today, and that is a client testimonial. Todd Brown, he's worked with me through a full off season, a pre-contest, and now we're rolling through a rebound phase with him. And you know, he sent me this video and said, Chris, I just want to put all my thoughts and feelings on paper because I've never had a coach like you. And what I thought is it meant so much to me, I wanted to share it on YouTube. So take a look, see what you think.
Hey, so I want to tell you about my experience with Chris Edmonds. So for the last year, he has been my coach, and I want to tell you about what it's been like working with Chris, what my off season was like, what my contest was just like, because the last year has really been completely transformational. And I want to give you some specifics, and I want to tell you why I believe he really is just an amazing bodybuilding coach. So first of all, I'm 52 years old. When I was in my late teens and early 20s, from New Jersey, I was a competitive bodybuilder. And in total, I did 8 shows. I started off in the AAU and then went over to the NPC. And when I was in my early 20s, I won the Gold's Classic as a lightweight. I went on to the Eastern USA. I took a second at the Eastern USA in the open lightweight. And then I went on to the Junior USA, placed 6th, ended up getting dehydrated, nightmare story. I'll save that for a different video. And then a couple of years later, I kind of stopped training altogether. I ended up getting married. I had 2 kids. And then fast forward 20 some odd years, and I decided to start weight training again and get myself back into to shape. And after a 28-year layoff, 28 years away from the competitive bodybuilding scene, last year, I decided in May to jump on the stage again. And I worked with another coach. And let me just say this, that the other coach that I worked with was fantastic, great guy, and helped me to get in stage condition. Really did a fantastic job. And so I just want to say that. I'll tell you that what it took for me to get in stage condition last year after a 28-year layoff was brutal. I ended up losing 4 pounds of muscle tissue. I had to do 2 hours of cardio, and I still wasn't absolutely peeled and whatnot. I ended up taking 3rd in the Masters over 50 division, and I ended up taking 2nd as a lightweight. Well, it was around that time that I came across Chris's videos on YouTube, and I was really just blown away by a couple of different things with Chris. Number one, I certainly love his passion for the sport, passion for bodybuilding, passion really for the life of a bodybuilder and the lifestyle, the bodybuilding lifestyle. He not only preaches it, but he lives it, right? And he lives out the high achiever lifestyle in his own life, in his training. Watching his training videos and seeing the intensity that he brought and brings to every single workout made me realize that this dude's not just talking the talk, but he is walking the walk. And in addition to that, really seeing the scientific approach that he took and takes with bodybuilding, whether it be from exercise selection, exercise order, whether it be rest, just movement, kind of flow patterns, diet, macro selection, the whole nine. I was really blown away about how scientific he really is. And so I decided that I wanted to work with Chris, and I decided that I was going to give him a shot in the off season to see what it is that we can do. Well, the off season was so good. I not only regained the 4 pounds of lean tissue that I lost when I was prepping for last year's show, but I gained an additional 4 pounds. And that was the last time I had my body scanned. I believe that it probably was closer to 5, maybe even 6 pounds of additional lean tissue. So in total, I was somewhere around 8 to 10 pounds in less than a year up from where I was at last year's contest. And he was just dialed in terms of every week checking my weight, checking my body fat. The updates that he wanted from me were, he wanted them very precise. He wanted what it is that he wanted, and he was looking at it. He was making adjustments on a regular basis to my diet, to my calories, to my macros, and we were pushing it, and we were pushing the calories, and I was eating a ton of food, and I was growing weekly. The scale was moving, and when it wasn't initially moving, he made it move through the adjustments. And he was doing the same thing really with my training protocol. Even, I'll tell you, and this wasn't even something that I thought of to talk about on this, but even with the leg training. So I had a very difficult time because I had a back injury when I was younger. I was doing some squats and I tilted over and hurt my back. And so it was very difficult for me to train legs without my low back getting super tight. Well, Chris came up with a kind of a leg protocol, the movements and the order of the movements, which was wildly different from anything that I had done before, to really help with my low back. And it was incredible how in maybe 6 weeks, I had zero back pain. And then from then on, during weight training and during leg training, and then from that point on, I was able to train legs hard, and I was able to hit it hard. And my legs were the number one thing that came up because of that, because he was able to design a protocol for me specific because of my low back issue that allowed me to eliminate that low back pain, allowed me to train legs hard, and allowed me to add more tissue to my legs. It was incredible. And I was so blown away by the end of that off season with Chris that I said, I want to go into the contest with him. And so I did. And Chris chose a 20-week prep for me because, again, as a smart coach, he didn't know my body and wanted to give us extra time. And it was just incredible because he was asking, again, regular weekly updates. And at points it was multiple updates, and he was looking and he was tweaking and he was changing. And it was the attention to detail, and the response time was just absolutely incredible. And I ended up getting in close to the best shape of my life at 52 years old, almost if not a hair off of the condition that I was in when I competed in my 20s on the national stage at the Junior USA, but at 52 years old. And there was no detail that Chris didn't address. And so I share all this with you. And I know that I've been rambling here, but I share all this with you because if you are considering working with Chris Edmonds as your coach, do it. You cannot go wrong with this guy in your corner, with this guy monitoring your progress, monitoring your weight training, monitoring your diet. I'll tell you that it's been worth its weight in gold. And I'm thrilled that I found Chris. I'm thrilled that I get to call him my coach. And I know that you will feel the same way if you want to make serious progress. I will say this, that you got to be willing to work, and you got to be willing to work hard, and you got to go balls to the wall, and you got to be committed. If you are, and you've got Chris at your side, you will make massive progress, massive changes, and I think you'll be blown away with the results that you can experience. And so lastly, again, if you're thinking of going with Chris Edmonds as your coach, do it. You're absolutely going to be blown away.
There you have it. Todd, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I've helped a lot of people over the course of my career, and not everyone does things like this for me. I realize that what I do is a paid service, and that you don't have to, none of my clients, I expect this, but it is much appreciated because I do pour my heart and soul into this. I actually care about my clients. I want to see them succeed, and I love bodybuilding. I love helping people. I love showing them the light. And what I mean by that is that if you work really hard and really diligent and really intelligent at things, you can have a physique that you never thought was possible. Because, I'm a walking testimony for that. I remember back when I was 19, I didn't think this was possible for me. Fast forward 20 years later, and here we are. So I really urge everyone out there, if you believe in yourself, if you have a goal or a dream, start attacking it today, not tomorrow. Go literally eat a meal today. So that means if you're gonna lose fat, go have a healthy, clean meal and cut the junk. If you need to get bigger, double that meal that you're eating right now and work towards that goal. That's the only way I did it. My process through this, through coaching, through bodybuilding has not been linear. And I learned by making mistakes. And that's one of the reasons I feel like I'm so great at coaching is I will eliminate every mistake I've ever made personally or with a client so you're able to reach your goals faster. So again, I hope you all enjoyed this video. It's a little different outside of my norm, but if you like this video, like, share, subscribe. And if you're interested in coaching, comment below or shoot me an email at chrisedmondstv@gmail.com, and we'll get back, get you started, and get you working toward your stuff.